Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Matt Leschper with, 1836, even though you're only catching the 18 today of the 36. Property management in beautiful Austin, Texas. If you guys haven't heard already, Austin's a little bit of a hot real estate market. Just call any real estate agent and ask them. For investors especially, it's tough to get anything. So we've been doing this about 15 years. We're located on South Congress in Austin and kind of the center of the metro area, if you will. During our webinar today, as a housekeeping item, we're going to have a couple polls for you. If I do my job properly, then I'll remember to pop those up so you guys can interact if you are joining us live today. And we'll kind of go over those at the end to see what the polls come out to be. Donnie is with us today from Powerhouse. He is one of our go-to and trusted vendors. We've been using Powerhouse. I've been doing business for probably 15 years. And to be perfectly honest, when I started with one unit and then two and then three. So I didn't start buying into a franchise or, with a second generation of properties under my belt. I started by kind of going through it the hard way. And we found Donnie. I'm not even sure if it was through a trade group or around the way. And I've got to say, he's never failed us, which after probably 12 years is pretty remarkable. I mean, because even great business relationships, you have a rough day. And that's life, right? Even of our spouses, we have a rough day. But I don't recall a single rough day with Powerhouse. And so that's kind of impressive. So they do flooring, they do flooring maintenance, they do repairs, they do installs, they do make-readies. They do a little bit of everything now because they've grown over the years. Donnie, do you mind giving us a little introduction? Tell us about yourself.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Matt. And those are nice words too. But yeah, I'm Donnie Rogers, like Matt said. I started Powerhouse 25 years ago now, which is sometimes hard to believe it's been that long. But yeah, I started like you did, Matt, very small. I was myself in a van doing carpet cleaning. But over the years, building relationships and friendships, I saw the need for additional services, and I don't like to say no. I think I've come to realize. And so as we sit today, we offer a wide range of different services from flooring installation services, as well as carpet cleaning. We still offer in 24-hour flood service and make-ready services, house cleaning, everything in between.
So Donnie, with tips and tricks in mind, why don't we go ahead and jump into the first topic, which is preventative maintenance on flooring. I don't think anybody goes to a carpet or flooring guy and says, how do I not call you? But really, you have more knowledge than anybody else because you've seen everything that's been damaged and that could be replaced or could have been remedied before they called you. So tell us why it's important. Maybe give us a few pointers on that subject for our investors.
Yeah, that's a great topic, Matt. Thanks. There are several things that we will walk into and realize that just a little bit of proactive maintenance and education for the resident would really save the property owner, in some cases, thousands of dollars. One of the little things that we're offering now is, let's see if we can see this, just a little welcome packet for after our installs, or you can, as a property manager, in a move-in condition packet. We have things like felt pads. If you have a hard surface, vinyl plank is very popular nowadays. This will help to put on the bottom of their furniture. It's very cheap to provide these, and I think unfortunately, they'll realize they need it, but life happens and 1 week turns into 1 month, which turns into 1 year they haven't gotten them. So just a little thing like this, which is being proactive, has helped, along with some cleaning tips, do's and don'ts for different things from carpet. There's remedies for, they say 80% of the soil in carpet is dry soil. which can be picked up with a good vacuum with a beater brush, and will maintain that investment for the property owner, as well as how to clean vinyl plank, different tricks and thoughts that we've learned over the years in our expertise.
Yeah, I love the little pads. You can order them on Amazon and it takes, but you just won't. And so delivering that, even if you did it at cost, simply makes your company a better choice. And honestly, if you're not making $1 or $2 literal dollars on it, then it's hard to maintain that because everything takes more than it seems. But I love that. Even if it was $5, I can't imagine it's not a good idea just to help those residents have something as a tool in hand that could prevent problems. No different than that crooked thing that goes underneath the garbage disposal. Just tape it in there. It costs $1. Tape it in there, and a lot of times those things rust. They're not broken. They just need to be broken loose. And so same with the flooring. You just need those little pads and poof, you're avoiding another situation. Before we jump into our second topic today, answer me this. You mentioned on the last tips and tricks that 80% was dried. Now, some residents, unfortunately only stay a year. Some will stay 10 years, which we love. Would it behoove those investors to offer carpet cleaning with residents in place? Or is it because the moisture is going to be there when it's cleaned, it won't dry? Would that be helpful at all?
Yeah, good question. And we've seen both over the years where upon renewal of leases, a lot of times they'll offer a complimentary carpet cleaning. There's obviously a benefit to that to the property owner. If you could limit the amount of dry soil that's continually getting beat into the carpet, it eventually makes it way down to the backing, and then actually through the backing into the bottom, and continues to wear now from the new soil up top to the old soil at the bottom. And so getting that maintained and cleaned is definitely going to benefit the homeowner, as well as obviously the resident is loving it. The moisture is something that we all hear about, where if it takes too long to dry, it can be a negative. But with the right equipment and the right processes, really a carpet cleaning shouldn't have moisture in it any more than four to really 6 hours at the greatest. And it does benefit the carpet if the resident could stay off of it for that 4 hours, obviously.
Yeah, and you guys offer the carpet cleaning and everything, but you do believe that would help prolong the life of the carpet itself just by getting it clean. What would you recommend? If a tenant stays 10 years, would you say annually, every 2 years? What do you love?
Yeah, Matt, that's a tricky question. I would say annual is probably good, but we'll get residents that really probably need it every 6 weeks to really that need it every 2 years.
Yeah.
So a lot of it will depend on number of people in the household. If there's kids, if there's pets. Austin is so pet friendly. That would increase with the more dependents that are there. And then, some residents will vacuum every day to every week, but not everybody does. So those all play a role on how long you can go in between. If they're maintaining it properly with the vacuuming at a minimum once a week, I would say annual is probably a good average. When let's say someone, we've seen everything, but if someone took a hammer to one of them and scratched it, gouged it up, you can replace one piece, which is a huge benefit. Now, and this is kind of interesting, I couldn't have told you 5 years ago I would ever be showing you this, is sheet vinyl.
Okay.
This is obviously in plank form, which is new. sheet vinyl used to, when I was growing up, and I might be dating myself a little bit, but it had a very bad look. You would see it in bathrooms and it would roll up on the edges. And if you ever got a hole, you would cut a new piece in there, but it would stand up like a sore thumb, stand out. It had a felt backing. Well, this is fiberglass backed now. And so it lays flat. And so it means a few things. You can repair it and you'll never see it. It doesn't roll on the edges because that felt, when the moisture from the glue or the environment would hit it, it would roll. And with this, it never rolls. It looks just like the luxury vinyl plank when it's down. It's very pliable, you can see. So it's not quite as tough as your luxury vinyl plank, but it's a little bit lower price point and still has the aesthetics of the luxury vinyl plank. So it's a good option for investors. This one I actually get excited about, being our third one. This is, believe it or not, a PVC. When I think of PVC, I think of white pieces of plastic in the ground for sprinklers and stuff. And this is amazing product. So it's 100% waterproof. We do flood service, and so we tearing out floors all the time because they're ruined. This is 100% waterproof, which is remarkable to me. It is a floating floor. It'll hide some imperfections in your foundation. So if you have some cracked slab, which in Austin we have some of that, this will go on top. It's a floating floor. And in past years, I used to really dislike the floating floors because it sounded hollow. And it just, I don't, as a flooring guy, I didn't like that. Now, if you can see on the back here, it has a matting on here, and it's really wonderful because it, one, sounds as a sound muffler, so reduces the clicking. It feels as if it's glued down, which is great. And so it's 100% waterproof too. So, Lord forbid, if you do have a water leak or something, you can dry this and it won't ruin it. So that's it's got a little bit higher price point, but as far as wear and maintenance of this, it's a great product. And I'd say it's been out now for a couple years, but it's really over this last 2020, 2019 really started to get more and more popular. We've seen those are the three I would say we're seeing most of right now.
Nice. And for the folks that did join us today, there is a section for comments. Appreciate you guys joining us live and to address some of those. Donnie, I don't know if you can see those on your screen, but Chris with us asked if you could use any of those on top of a tiled floor, was his question one. I'm interested to hear what you say about that. And then the second was without prep on a second floor. And that's I'll let you tackle those. This is your
Yeah. So I'm thank you. Is it Chris? Thank you for the question. And I think that question's regarding the PVC floor. So let's answer the first one. Can you use that on a top of a tiled floor? Yes, we've used this on a tile floor before. We depending on how rigid or the grooves where the grout lines are, there might need to be a little bit of prep depending on, Saltillo tile has a really wide gapped grout line, and sometimes the depth of it is deeper, so you'll have a bigger bevel, I guess you would call it. There might, depending on that, would let you know if you needed to do much prep or not. But I hope that answers your question on that. And then the part two is, can you use that on a second floor without a prep, like tile requires on a second floor? Again, yes, we can use this on a second floor. And actually, with that sound muffler matting, it's it's actually a preferred method from properties we're utilizing it right now because of that sound muffler. It's helped some of those challenges that they'll see from floor to floor because of the sound. The floor prep, again, every foundation's a little bit different. There's some industry standards of what's allowed, like 1/8 of an inch, I believe, and don't quote me on that, but I believe it's 1/8 of an inch variance of the foundation that it's approved to go over without any floating. So, yeah.
1/8 of an inch isn't much, to be honest.
Yeah, it's not a lot.
Or it doesn't take much to show those ripples. So I understand it's attractive to maybe not prep some things because it's quicker or, in theory cheaper, but it's going to come back to get you later. I feel like whether it's small pops because of bubbles that are underneath there, or it's just going to show a ripple, it's not going to end well in the long term. It'll look good for a little bit.
Yeah, especially now on the luxury vinyl plank, you need to have that foundation as flat as possible because it really shows every little nook and cranny.
Yeah, so even on residential construction, the standards aren't the same as commercial, and there's always little variances in that stuff. So I would think even if you have a raw cement foundation you're working on, you're still going to do some prep on that, are you not?
Yeah, typically our installation crew and our operations manager, they are amazing at how they can make that surface as smooth as possible. But yeah, definitely you would hate to, it starts with a good foundation, is a good flooring installation for sure.
And that was too easy for you. That's kind of life, isn't it? It starts with a good foundation. Well, I can tell you that for our properties, the ones that are properly made ready, they rent quicker, they rent for more money, and they rent to better tenants. That's the big thing. People try to cheap out and it comes back to get you. And, we even have we have investors that come in and say, well, I want, $50 more than market, but they'll sit on market for an extra 30 days being stubborn and lose well more than they could have gained. So I think this is the same principle. Make it ready right, do it right the first time, and be done. Just out of curiosity, we're talking about some of these upgrades and choices and products. What is a ballpark difference in price? You can give me any kind of rule of thumb you want to use between those 3 models that you showed us.
So I would say probably a starting point on the, we'll go from the sheet vinyl plank to a luxury vinyl plank to PVC. You're probably starting somewhere from $1 a foot material purchase price to the PVC, probably on the low side, you'd be in the low $2. But you can go all the way up to, we've seen it in some instances go up to $4 a foot or more. There's a broad range of options out there nowadays as it's becoming more and more popular. So low end being a low dollar to low point on the PVC being probably around the $3 range now.
Very fair. So about 3 times as much, $1, $2, $3 or so around that scale. But you believe that the quality of that makes it worth it. It's more durable. You're not going to have to redo it. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I think everything from the quality to the feel, like I said, with that matting that you had, the durability, moisture won't hurt it. All those will contribute to the life expectancy and the look for a new resident moving in.
So one of my buddies, Arby's, with us today, and I'd love to answer some of these questions, but since you're the flooring expert, I get to refer to you for everything today. So what do you think about wood floor?
Wood looking tile.
Yeah.
So yes, wood looking tile is actually another popular product. And tile's been around forever as well. And it's a great product. There's so many that it looks like wood, which is quite amazing.
Yeah, they're pretty beautiful, to be honest, some of those.
They are, yeah. And so, yeah, I do like it. We do install a lot of that. And it's going to wear great.
What's the price point? So we talked about $3 for the PVC. What would tile be for the same area?
Again, there's a broad range of tile qualities and manufacturers. I would say on the low point, you could probably find a wood look tile for mid $1.50. The labor to install ceramic's going to be quite a bit more, sometimes up to 3 times as more to install it. But in wet areas specifically, it is a great option, and should last really forever.
I got to tell you, on not only the ones that we manage that investors are really willing to, go the long haul on, but on all my personal properties, every time that I've made a decision that was, bite the bullet, write the check, and do it right, I've never had those items come back to bite me later. I've had to do it again. So I love the wood-looking tiles. They're almost planks, identical to what you're holding up. They're just wood planks, but some of them look, I feel like, better than actual wood. And of course, they're much more durable. Everybody in Austin has pets. So if you don't think you're going to have a pet in your rental property, then you're fooling yourself, because that's the way it's going to be. And, dogs like to run. And I love the wood looking tile, and all day, especially if you're looking at future value of the property. If it's not a brand new entry level, I think that's kind of an easy decision if you're willing to invest in your own future. If you're going to short side everything, though, well, you'll just write the check multiple times and then still be stuck with something you're probably not going to be happy with long term. So, Donnie, the folks really kind of know you guys at Powerhouse. You deliver a lot. You have a lot more experience than just about anybody else out there. Tell me about the other services you've got under your umbrella, if you will. What all do you guys do? I don't think everybody understands how much you guys deliver.
Thanks, Matt. So carpet cleaning, and when I say carpet cleaning, that includes the carpet cleaning. We do all repairs on carpet. We do 24-hour flood emergency service response. We do the flooring installation and sales. We have a maid service, Vivian, who you know very well, handles that, is our director of maid services and housekeeping. So we offer that. We have a full construction division, everything from new roofing to renovating of properties, which has really become quite popular here in Austin. As investors are coming in, they want to dress them up. White cabinets are popular, you go down the list. And so we offer that. I think that kind of, we air duct cleaning is another one that we do a lot of. So I think that's about it. But we really like to be the call for all of our relationships, Matt, like you, is when you have a need, we want to take care of it. And I think that's kind of one of our mission statements. It's helping our customers being successful, no matter what, will help us be successful.
Yeah, it really does come back around in the long term when you support those around you and treat others well. That is your future, if you're patient enough to let it play out. So I'm fully behind you on that. So we do have one more question today, and then we'll kind of wrap up. Chris was asking about the PVC, the third option we looked at. How does that hold up pet damage? Are you seeing anything when you go to do renos? Are you having to replace it due to pets, anything like that?
With this PVC particularly, no, we haven't seen. They have a really neat click lock system. That click actually makes it waterproof, so in this case, the questions about urine won't get down into those seams of that PVC, which is quite neat, because they've made that waterproof as well as the material, where in other products, like the vinyl plank, that urine actually finds its way down into those seams and then gets down into the glue, and then the odor becomes an issue on the slab. So really with the PVC in particular, and that moisture proof seam even, has really remedied some of those challenges that we'll see a lot of time with pet urine that is left over a long period of time.
Anything from the traffic from pets? I mean, I'm not seeing that either on the vinyl plank. Those things they used to call them commercial grade, which to me just meant really durable. I haven't seen extensive damage on those from pet traffic. Have you?
Well, we have seen some, and now they're just like in all the products, there were different levels, and I don't want to bore you with too much of it, but there's like, I think the starting point is the wear layer of that vinyl plank is a 6 mil wear layer. And then it goes up, past and beyond 20 is one that we'll install in heavy traffic areas like laundry, commercial laundry rooms and things like that.
Okay.
Offices will get a 12 or a 20 depending on the amount of traffic. So we have seen where, I've been in units before where their dog runs to get a ball and slides halfway down the floor, and they're having a great time, and their claws will affect the finish of that, the shine. And so I've seen some things like that, and that it will affect, and more so on the lower wear layer materials that are out there. But as a whole, they're very durable, if that helps answer that.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I haven't seen consistent problems, but there's always going to be a one-off of anything you've got. So we're gonna start wrapping it up there. Donnie, I can't tell you thank you enough for being with us today. You guys have just been a great partner, and you've delivered over a course of years. And when issues in business come up, we've always been able to solve them. And so I don't know what else you could really ask of somebody than just to be willing to work through things, because things don't always work out the way you start off, and you've still got to move forward in a very positive and collaborative way to make sure everybody can go on to the next job and work together on that. It's a lot could be said there about us all working together across the population, but nevertheless, it's been a good relationship. So for those of you guys that are watching us today, thank you for joining us, number one. Number two, if you have any questions at any time, if you want to give us ideas on Crowdcast or other people that you'd like for us to bring in, or hey, even if you want us to forward something over to Donnie, send us a question to questions, plural S, at 1836pm, as in propertymanagement.com. You can visit our website, 1836propertymanagement.com. If you have any questions for Donnie directly or the Powerhouse team, you can find them on Powerhouse HCS, Hotel Charlie Sierra.com. They're just good folks. And if you really get a chance to meet them in person, I highly recommend it, just because it's nice to actually meet people in person again and spend time with other humans, especially people that do what they're supposed to do. So Donnie, thank you for your time today. We appreciate you guys, the work you do. I'm grateful to have you here to help educate us all the time, and our investors when they can join us today, and really help keep us abreast of the latest issues to do with flooring maintenance, preventative maintenance, and make-readies.
Oh, thank you, Matt, and we appreciate you and 1836 Realty. Your whole staff's great to work with, and just look forward to continually building our relationship for years to come, and great people to be with. So thank you.
Awesome. Well, thanks guys for your time. If you have any questions and you weren't able to join us today, just shoot us an email. We're happy to answer those for you or address them in future Crowdcasts. And until next time, be safe out there and come visit us if you're ever in Austin.